No niin, nyt taitaa olla suora lähetys. Siellä tosiaan Tukholmassa on nyt toi Bilderberg-kokous käynnissä tällä hetkellä. Ja sitten tämä jenkkiläinen tutkiva toimittaja, siis tässä Pressford-ruutista, niin kävi vähän jututtamassa näitä Bilderbergiläisiä, mutta ei ollut Bilderbergin jäsenet, esimerkiksi Erkki Liikonenkin, niin ei ollut hirveän juttu tuulella siinä, mikä näkyy tässä. Sitten turvaukkoja on siellä alueella, korvanapit korvissa, tämmöisiä palkkasotilaita.
Agents.
Kuten kuvasta näkyy.
Everywhere.
Siinähän se Erkki Liikonen näkyy sitten.
How are you enjoying the conference so far, sir?
It's not started, so...
Not started, right, okay. What do you think about some of the topics on the agenda?
No, let's get later.
They have depopulation on the agenda. What?
Se on ihan totta, väestökadusta keskustelevat tällä hetkellä Bilderbergissä.
No comment, it's not started.
No comment.
Liikanen ei halunnut kommentoida ollenkaan.
Comment. Okay. Will you be able to give a comment later, or is it
Thank you.
strict Chatham House rules? You understand why people are a little bit concerned about the secrecy, right? The lack of transparency.
Now, let me walk a little bit. It's a free country. We
Yes.
will walk by.
Correct.
Sitten tulee Ruotsin poliisi väliin.
You're too close to him now. He doesn't want to speak to you. Could be.
Well, it is a public
Yes,
street.
it is.
I'm free to walk here.
You're free to walk, but
Yeah.
you're not allowed to have the camera this close to him.
Why not?
So keep, because it's the law.
It's the law to not have the camera
I
close.
don't have, yes. it
Which
is.
law? Can you cite that to me?
I don't have the word in English. It could be ofredad in Swedish. If he doesn't want your camera like this, then you'll have to back off. Okay? Keep the distance of 5-10 meters or something, then I'm fine with it. But not like this, okay?
Yeah, well, I mean,
Or not okay?
yeah, that's fine.
Don't be as close.
Yeah, that's fine, of
5
course.
to 10 meters.
5 to 10 meters.
It's a free country.
That's the word.
Follow Jesus.
Of course.
Don't follow Satan.
Yeah. There's the security guy I was talking about earlier.
Mutta tuossa just huomaa sen, että suurin osa näistä Bilderberg-kokouksen kävijöistä, niin ei ne halua keskustella tavallisten kansalaisten kanssa. Siellä on harvas poikkeus kyllä, sitten tuo Wallenberghan oli muutama vuosi sitten ihan asiallisesti jutellut ton kanssa. Jakob Wallenberg, joka on muuten kutsunut tuonne Ruotsiin, kun se omistaa se hotellin, missä ne kokoontuu.
So the officer couldn't exactly cite to me the actual law that would dictate that you have to be 5 to 10 meters away. They're obviously just making that up on the spot. But that's what it looks like when you're protecting criminals.
First day with sun. First day with sun. Just rain for.
Yeah, exactly.
Tässä toi keskustelee ne turvaukkojen kanssa sitten.
Thank you.
Here, sorry, you were with who?
The Swedish police.
Swedish police. Okay.
You're from
Canada.
Canada.
Yep.
How are you going to be in Sweden?
Till the 17th.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So how do you like Sweden?
It's very nice so far. Yeah.
Look like Canada?
No, not really. I like the old look is very cool. Yeah.
Have a nice time here.
You too. Thank you. This guy's name is Joseph Philip Daniel. He's here documenting Bilderberg for his first time, and a little bit surrounded by the secret police right now. Well, they're looking me up now. Probably going to find some extensive information. You know, when I was in Germany, the police were given my photo in a briefing, and they were told, specifically instructed, to stop and question and detain me like every single time they saw me, and I ended up being detained around 24 times in Germany. So
That was a good picture.
these guys are now on to me, so we'll see how that's going to go. Here we have Eric Schmidt, the former CEO of Google, who I have confronted a number of times at Bilderberg meetings. He, of course, is Henry Kissinger's protege, and really pulls a lot of the strings around here. Mr. Teal, do you have any comments about Palantir's surveillance of the American people, sir?
Ei ollut toikaan oikein juttu tulella.
Or any of your connections to Jeffrey Epstein? I think people are rather concerned about that last particular one. You're setting up a Big Brother surveillance system, and people know it, sir. Do you think the American people want this surveillance tech being used against them? Any comments at all on the Epstein connections? You were meeting with them. People are waking up to what you're doing there, sir. That's why we're here covering this.
Hey, can you comment the conversation you have with police regarding your system?
Wow, Peter Thiel was booking it. That man picked up the pace.
Mutta totahan se elitismi just on, että semmoiset ihan niinku kylmäkiskoisimmat elitistit, niin ne on just tollaisia, että ne ei tavisten kanssa keskustele yhtään mitään, koska ne katsoo niitä ihan nenävartta pitkin.
The second the word Epstein came out, it seemed he started getting a little faster. But stone cold Peter Thiel. Of course, co-founded Palantir with Alex Karp, who is still here. And these are the guys who are setting up the Big Brother surveillance system, essentially to track, trace, and database everyone. Not just Americans, you may have heard me say that, but literally everyone. And that's a big reason part of the reason why he is here. There is a lot of heavy kind of tech representation here and military men who are preparing for something. So Peter Thiel in the house. That might be Freeland.
Oh, yeah, that looks like Freeland.
That might be Christia Freeland. I do believe it is. Let me see if I can catch up to her. Oh, I'm getting too old for this, running around with 40 pounds of gear on my back. Let's see, what do we got? Can't tell if it's her. I think it is. She's got that same frumpy shape.
시간이 더 있었을까요? 작년에도 영화 찍었었더라고.
I do believe that's the Canadian Minister of Finance.
ribbon.
Canadian Minister of Finance, Philippe Champagne.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
With the aid, get the yellow ribbon.
Well, guys, it's already been quite the day here in Stockholm. The Bilderberg Group released the official participants list and the official agenda. While I'm here on the grounds, I noticed one of the topics on the agenda is depopulation. Guys, stay tuned for my deep dive break.
Eli kun siellä on väestökato, yksi keskustelun aihe, niin tiedätte varmaan millä se väestökato on viimeisen 5 vuoden aikana aiheutettu. Tutkittu ja turvallinen hiha ja toinen tutkittu ja turvallinen hiha ja kolmas tutkittu ja turvallinen hiha.
Down of both the participants list and the agenda list. That's going to be coming out as soon as possible, but obviously I wanted to just stay here on the grounds and document as many people as I could, including we got, the likes of Peter Thiel today. That was a pretty big one. We got the former finance minister of Finland, and a few others as well. We attempted what we always do, going to the airport, in the morning, but I honestly think those days are over. It's been a decade of, having fantastic confrontations at the airport, and I think they've pretty much put an end to that, unfortunately. So now it's all about getting them while we're here. Now, I think I may have gotten Christia Freeland. I'm not exactly sure about that yet. I have to still go back and take a closer look at that particular footage to confirm if that is her or not. But she certainly is here. There's no doubt about that. But
tässä kanavallahan oli kanssa nyt vuoden takaisia haastatteluja. Siinä oli muun muassa, oli kanssa se Wallenbergi vai? Sitten tässä on muuten Ruotsin Tukholman vapaamuurariloosi vastapäätä, siinä missä se hotellista on.
This is Dan. We're going to be meeting inside this hotel, behind closed doors, under Chatham House rules, which means they are not allowed to discuss who said what at this particular meeting. So I don't know what the security is going to be like here. In the past, I've been detained dozens and dozens of times. I've been, arrested and thrown in jail. Hopefully, they're not going to be too heavy-handed this time around. But as I said, the whole thing is about to kick off tomorrow morning. Something very, very interesting. Directly across the street from the hotel that is owned by billionaire bankster Jacob Wallenberg, who's hosting this year's meeting, is the Grand Lodge of Freemasonry for Sweden. You'll see some of the symbols on the window there, the classic checkerboard floor.
Ruotsin rapparilousi siinä vastakkaisella kadulla.
It almost looks like an eye and a triangle and the Red Cross. This is, again, the main lodge of Freemasonry directly across the street from the Bilderberg Hotel. And, I find it interesting because there's a lot of similarities between both the Freemasons and the Bilderberg Group, in the sense that within Freemasonry, the lower degrees are not privy to some of the information that's revealed when you work your way up in Freemasonry. The lower levels are referred to as the outer core or the outer protocol, and the true, I find it pretty interesting that it's crazy stuff. When did the Bilderberg start publishing the agenda list and meeting? That's been going on for a while?
It's been going on for at least, I think, 10, 15 years or so.
Didn't they used to have press conferences in the 60s?
I think later, 90s.
Interesting.
Siinä oli harvinaista, että oli ihan niin kuin asiallinen ja sosiaalinen elitisti. Kaikki ei ole semmoisia ylimielisiä.
So that's basically press spokesperson from the Bilderberg meeting, and as you saw, I just asked them, like, when did you guys start publishing the agenda and the participants list? Because I think their hand has been forced due to the exposure they've been getting over the last 20 years. This is the no comment, and if there was a little more transparency, there might not be all the economy at the end.
No comment.
Why? I've been
No
asking
comment.
people for 11 years, sir, and I always get the same answer. No comment.
Why? Well, we want to end some of the theories out there. There's a lot of speculation and mystery.
Yeah, people end up speculating because of the no comment, and if there was a little more transparency, there might not be all the conspiracy theories.
No comment.
Pro-Trump or anti-Trump?
Niitä on kato kielletty kommentoivasta. Bilderberg-kokouksesta ei saa mainita yhtään mitään. Siellä on ne säännöt, että joku on puhunut siellä jotain, niin kukaan ei saa mainita mitään näistä asioista.
It's not your first time at Bilderberg, correct?
Can you help us understand why there's such a mystique or mystery or secrecy about it?
No comment.
Or the reason for it?
Sir, it's just obviously when there's financial leaders and heads of media and military men, politicians, prime ministers, presidents, very influential people meeting in secret. It's cause for concern, sir.
I'd appreciate your leaving me alone.
I could get something for you if you need something. You sure? Would you like a water?
Last time Peter Sutherland of Goldman Sachs actually gave us quite the conversation. He spoke with us for about 15 minutes. Oh, well, your silence is kind of louder than a no comment comment. Okay, sir, we'll leave it at that. Next up, we've got Alex Karp, CEO of Palantir Technologies, Inc., and his co-founder and partner in crime, Peter Thiel, president of Thiel Capital, a man who I recently confronted about the Big Brother surveillance control grid that they are setting up and about his ties to Jeffrey Epstein. If you haven't seen that one, guys, I will include a link in the description below. And last but certainly not least, as I said, I would like to take a look at some of the notable Canadians on this list. We've got Murray Auchincloss, the CEO of British Petroleum, and also Francois Philippe Champagne, the Minister of Finance, and of course, none other than Chrystia Freeland. It's
Let me use the restroom.
Okay. All right.
appreciate you talking to me because I'm glad to find a friendly Canadian because I've been asking people about their attendance at Bilderberg and really getting no answers. I'm getting no comments. So I'm just wondering if you're able to give a comment for, the Canadian people who are wondering why a finance minister would be attending this secretive meeting.
What's your name again?
Dan Dix,
And you're from what organization?
PFT News.
What does PFT stand
It's
for?
Press for Truth.
I see. Okay. Well, it's nice to meet you.
Well, I'm getting more of this non-transparency.
We're right here. We're right here. Okay, thank you.
So no comment on it for the Canadian people, sir?
Thank you. Hi,
I just wanted to let you know, sir, kind of what I'm hoping for is that we can clear up a bit of the, the conspiracy theories. That there's a lot of, people are skeptical about what goes on there. And one simple statement could really clear it up from you, sir. As a fellow Canadian, this is going to be going out
Where are you
to
from?
people. I'm
Nyt yrittää kääntää se puheenaiheen sitten, että mistä sä oot kotoisin, kääntää se niin henkilökohtaisiin asioihin. Ei halua keskustella Bilderberg-kokouksesta millään tavalla.
from Vancouver now. Really? Toronto.
Do you live in Vancouver?
I live in Vancouver now. I'm from Toronto.
From Toronto. Where in Toronto?
And are you going to be obviously talking about the economy in there?
Where in Toronto are you from?
I used to live downtown,
Where?
right beside the Skydome. So
What building are you in? Because I know those buildings.
I lived in the Matrix, believe it or not.
I see.
Funny is that.
When did
as
you
that
move
is-
away?
So you're willing to talk to me, but not about Bilderberg. This is going to be intriguing to the Canadian people. It will go viral, sir. So your chances now to make one statement, one comment. Otherwise, this looks really bad, sir. Okay, Secrecy and silence it is. Many people will know you were politely asked and you just refused to answer. You're meeting in a
break off here. Thank you.
Finance Minister Bill Marnew, meeting in secret, discussing finances, obviously not willing to divulge anything to a fellow Canadian. The current finance minister, Philippe Francois Champagne, was recently questioned about the Bilderberg group and his attendance in Parliament, and just listen to his answer to this very important question.
Is the Minister of Finance going to be using taxpayer dollars to travel out of the country this week?
Mr. Speaker, first of all, I'm happy to say hello to my colleague. He was my critic when I was a young man, Mr. Speaker, when I started in this House, and now I see that 10 years after, I still have the pleasure to have to answer his question. He comes from a great region. My dad lives next to his.
West.
Is the Minister of Financing planning on traveling to the Bilderberg meetings this week using taxpayer dollars?
The Honourable Minister.
I'm very proud to answer questions from my colleague. Like I said, he comes from a great region where my family is also, and so I've seen him in action, and it's great to see that they can.
For Niagara West.
I just want to ask the Finance Minister why he believes that he should spend time at the Bilderberg meetings rather than actually tabling the budget.
Honourable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, I'm so glad to see my colleague is actually following, paying so much attention about what I do. I travel to Shawinigan also every weekend, Mr. Speaker, and I would be glad to invite him at home as well, because he seems to be very interested where I'm going. When politicians just ignore and laugh off these types of very important questions, that should be of grave concern to Canadians.
Aika Krista Kiurumainen vastaus. Asia ympäriltä, mutta ei yhtään asiaa.
And when it comes to Chrystia Freeland, I've also documented her attendance a number of times. Here's a short clip of my footage of her from the 2023 meeting in Lisbon, Portugal. Chrystia, Miss Freeland. There she goes. Okay, got a quick shot of her. We'll be able to pause the video and zoom in on that. She was quick making her escape, but that most certainly was Chrystia Freeland. Indeed.
I'm joined by Dan Dix of Press for Truth. And
Hey.
Dan, you want to chime?
Yeah.
You want to chime in about Freeland?
Yes, indeed, Freeland was here. We ended up catching her at a dinner shindig schmoozing event last night at this huge palace. I'm looking for Freeland. Is that her? Chrystia in the red dress, maybe? Kind of behind some people now. Yeah, I think that might. Censorship and the axing of conservative voices online. Mr. Schmidt, there's a lot of big tech people here this year. There were last year as well. And since then, we've seen the removal of a lot of conservative voices online. Is that stemming from discussions at Bilderberg? On at these meetings.
Not very sensational. We discussed the questions that were published in the press release.
Okay.
And it's a sit down panel debate and Q&A.
Okay.
And then we go through these things. There are no decisions being made, but that's not the purpose. It's an exchange of views.
No decisions being made. I saw a television screen a couple of years ago in Copenhagen, and in this meeting room too.
Yeah.
Do people get Skyped in?
No.
Okay.
No, it's just so you see whoever is speaking.
Okay. Oh, I see.
So it's like a normal conference.
So when one person speaks, they get projected on the screen.
Exactly.
Okay. Cool. So, but you understand why people are concerned about the?
No, not at all.
No.
Not at all.
Well, because it's done in secret.
Meetings. There are thousands of meetings of this nature taking place every day in the world.
Right.
And this is the only one where you guys go.
There are thousands of meetings. True.
With decision makers.
Yeah.
Politicians.
Yeah.
Business people.
Yeah.
What have you.
I guess it's the lack of transparency that people are concerned about. Did you lose your
group?
You lost your group?
They went this way. They went that way.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
well, thank you for informing us a little bit more about what's going on here, sir. Next, we'll take a look at some of the notable members of the press who are.
Se tosiaan toi keskusteluaihe tuolla Bilderbergistä tänä vuonna, niin transatlanttiset suhteet, Ukrainan tilanne, Jenkkien talous ja sitten on Euroopan asiat, sitten on Lähi-idän asiat ja sitten on tämä autoritaarinen akseli, puolustusalan innovaatiot, selviytymiskyky. Ja sitten tämä on mielenkiintoinen AI, tekoäly ja pelote sekä kansainvälinen turvallisuus. Eli tällä varmaan tarkoitetaan ydinasetta luultavasti. Sitten on energiateollisuuden geopolitiikka, eli tietenkin tuulivoima ja aurinkovoima versus ydinvoima. Kriittiset mineraalit, eli Ukrainan mineraalivarannot, milloin ne ryöstetään ja keneen taskuun. Ja väestöharvennus, maahanmuutto, depopulation and migration. Siis tämä maahanmuutto on siis se, että kun Euroopan kantaväestö, rokotteita vaan, immuniteetti hajalla ja sitten kun väestö eliminoidaan rokotteilla tietyssä aikavälissä, niin sitten otetaan ulkomaalaiset tilalle, saadaan hävitettyä tämä kansallisidentiteetti. Että semmoinen se juoni on.
Are in attendance. We've got Thomas Friedman. He's the foreign affairs columnist for the New York Times. We've got Anne Applebaum. She's a staff writer for The Atlantic. We've also got John Micklethwait. He's the editor-in-chief for Bloomberg. And also Stefano Feltri, who's just simply listed as a journalist. We've also got Zanny Minton-Bedos. She's the editor-in-chief of The Economist. And Matthias Dopner, chair and CEO of Axel Springer, who's also on the steering committee of the Bilderberg Group, both of which I've questioned about all of this multiple times. Matthias, Mr. Dopner, how are you, sir? Yeah, I spoke with you in Eilen, Turin, sir. You gave me a. I remember that. You do remember? Yeah, you gave me a nice, candid interview.
Thank you. This is one of the most interesting, inspiring conference that I've ever attended.
Yeah.
And I appreciate your interest.
So you're in favor of the kind of frank discussions under Chatham House rules?
Right.
Yeah.
I definitely think so.
Yeah. What would you say to the people who are concerned about the secrecy?
I think a society needs both transparency about conversations, but it also needs conversations without media. I'm saying that as a media representative. I think it's just normal, and I think there's really nothing special about it. There are hundreds of conferences like that. I have a suggestion.
Yeah.
I appreciate your interest, and I fully understand it. We just wanted to have a walk and talk a little bit. Would
Yeah.
it be okay?
Yeah, fair enough.
Come to an end sooner or later.
Sure thing. Next up, we'll take a look at some of the notable military men in attendance, like Christopher Donahue, a United States Army general who has served as the commanding general of the United States Army, Europe and Africa. We've got Nicolas Roche, the Secretariat General for National Defense and Security in France, and Mark Rutte, a Bilderberg regular who is attending this year for the first time as the new Secretary General of NATO, a very high position of power that the Bilderberg Group obviously found him very worthy of. Next up, we've got Satya Nadella. He's the CEO of Microsoft Corporation. We've got Daniel Ek, the CEO of Spotify, and also Eric E. Schmidt, the former CEO of Google and the current executive chair and CEO of Relativity Space, Inc. A man who I've confronted at these conferences a number of times about censorship and the axing of conservative voices online. Mr. Schmidt, there's a lot of big tech people here this year. There were last year as well. And since then, we've seen the removal of a lot of conservative voices online. Is that stemming from discussions at Bilderberg? Mr. Schmidt, our conversation got cut a little short yesterday.
I'm not going to talk to them.
Is there any statement we can get on the silencing of the conservative voices, sir? Seems that it's stemming from Bilderberg.
Up next for some notable names on.
Ei ne oikein halua keskustella noista aiheista, niin kuin näkyy. Tuollaista se sensuuri on. Juu, ja siis tuossa Bilderberg-kokouksessa, niin siellähän on katollakin tarkka-ampujat kautta vuosien. Ampuvat semmoisia varoituslaakauksia, jos joku menee liian lähelle hotellia. Siis se on aivan överin mittaluokan turvallisuusjärjestelyt joka vuosi. Niin, no siis periaatteessa jos aihetta, mitä tuossa kirjoitat chatissa, niin kyllähän se viimeisen 5 vuoden aikana vaikka kuinka paljon tämmöisiä uutisia, on jopa tämä uusi termi, että kuoli äkillisesti, died suddenly, mistähän se on mahtanut tulla. Ei sitä tarvitse Twitteriin mennä katsomaan viimeisen 5 vuoden ajalla. Että tämmöisiä työikäisiä ihmisiä vaan yllättäen kuollut äkillisesti. 44-vuotias nainen siellä Englannissa kuollut äkillisesti.
On the list, we've got Albert Bourla, chair and CEO of Pfizer Inc. We've got
Pfizerin toimitusjohtaja, mitä se tuolla Bilderbergissä tekee, niin koronarokotteiden päävalmistaja Pfizerin.
Lord Brent, president of the World Economic Forum. We've also got Demi Haspes, co-founder and CEO of Google DeepMind, a leader in the field of AI, and also Lawrence, aka Larry Summers, who's an American economist who served as the United States Secretary of the Treasury and as the director of the National Economy Council. He currently sits on the board of directors of artificial general intelligence at OpenAI. Mr. Summers tends to get very agitated if you dare question him about these secret meetings. Here's one example, a clip from my coverage of the 2017 meeting.
Mr. Summers, we'll be discussing the economy after.
2000 vuonna elections menin käymään Bohemian Groveissa silloin.
In San Francisco decided they needed a break from the city and the public. They called themselves the Bohemian Club. Leading the charge was Harry Edwards, a British-born entomologist and Shakespearean actor. He believed men of talent needed a place to escape the grind of city life and recap.
Joo, tämä on totta, että kasvaimet ja syövät on siis ihan hälyttävässä nousussa tuossa viimeisten vuosien aikana. Ja se syy on nimenomaan just se, että piikin ottaneet ihmiset ihanpa työikäiset, niin sairastunut syöpään ja kaikkiin tämmöisiin tauteihin, mitä normaalisti terveen immuniteetin ihminen ja tämmöinen työikäinen harvemmin sairastuu.
Connect with nature. He was joined by Daniel O'Connell, a poet and journalist, and Ambrose Bierce, a sharp-tongued writer best known for the Devil's Dictionary. Ironically, Bierce would later mock the club for trading artistic spirit for social climbing, calling it a sanctuary for rich clowns. Because their motto was, "We shall be as free as birds," they were supposed to be free, untethered, drifting where the wind takes them. But by the late 1800s, it wasn't just writers and painters who wanted in. Bankers, businessmen, and politicians started joining at the club. Art gave way to influence. Nature gave way to networking. Eventually, the group bought 2,700 acres of remote redwood forest in Monte Rio, California. That land would become the Grove. From the outside, it looked like summer camp for old men. Outdoor plays, drinking songs, and costume parties. But behind the trees, something else was happening. A new motto emerged, weaving spiders, come not here.
Sitten tuo Jenkkien pressa Nixonihan kommentoi tätä Bohemian Groveet. Se totesi, että se oli kyllä homoin paikka, missä hän ei ole koskaan ikinä ollut. Tarkoitti siis sitä, kun ne poliitikot siellä niin kuin veteli toisiaan perseeseen, kun Alex Johnson sanoi tämän julkisesti 2000.
Let's look at Northern California. You understand? Yeah. You know what's happening. San Francisco just gone. It's clear over. I understand, but it isn't just down in the randy part of town. But the upper class in San Francisco is that way. The Bohemian Grove that I attend, on time to time, the Easterners and the others that come there. But it is the most faggy goddamn thing you will ever imagine. San Francisco crowd goes in. It's just is that way. The Bohemian Grove that I attend, on time to time, the Easterners and the others that come there. But it is the most faggy goddamn thing you will ever imagine. San Francisco crowd goes in. It's just terrible.
Siinä se tuli se tunnustus. Juu, kyllä vain. Mitä chatissa kirjoitat, se on ihan todellinen juttu, että ne jotka on saanut sitä kovaa kamaa niissä piikeissä, eli sitä, mikä tuhoaa immuniteetin, niin tuossa näkyy kommenttikentässä nyt sitten faktaa tiskiin näille, jotka ei vieläkään usko, että ne rokotteet, eli koronarokotteet, kehitettiin vain sitä yhtä tarkoitusta varten. Heikentämään immuniteettisuoja. Ja kun immuniteetti tuhoutuu työkykyiseltä ihmiseltä, niin mitäs käy sen jälkeen? Työkykyhän siinä menee kanssa sitten sen myötä, kun immuniteetti romahtaa. Sitten kanssa Sveitsin talousfoorumin ex-pääjohtaja, tämä Yuval Harari, niin sehän kanssa sitten puhuu julkisesti näistä. Se käytti sanaa hyödyttävät ihmiset, tarkoitti näitä nuoria jollakin, niin kuin, jotka katsotaan maailman liikaväestöksi, niin hän sitten puhui sitten julkisesti, mitä keksikään heille.
If I understand it correctly, you argue that actually the amazing breakthrough that we are experiencing right now not only will potentially make our life better, but they will create, and I quote you, new classes and new class struggles, just as the Industrial Revolution did. Can you elaborate for us?
Yes, in the Industrial Revolution, we saw the creation of a new class of the urban proletariat, and much of the political and social history of the last 200 years involved what to do with this class and the new problems and opportunities. Now we see the creation of a new massive class of useless people. As computers become better and better in more and more fields, there is a distinct possibility that computers will outperform us in most tasks and will make humans redundant. And then the big political and economic question of the 21st century will be, what do we need humans for? Or at least, what do we need so many humans for?
Do you have an answer in the book?
At present, the best guess we have is keep them happy with drugs and computer games.
Huumeita ja videopelejä, niin. Että jos nykynuoret sitten vetää huumeita ja videopelejä, niin mitä se tekee heidän terveydelle muun muassa? Onko hyvä työkunto, kun huumeita vetää joku nuori? Saattaa olla, että 40 ikävuoteen mennessä niin ovat hauta-arkussa jo. Niin sitä on sitten se talouden nollakasvu. Mitään tässä jatkunut Suomessa jo 17 vuotta. Kyllä muistan kanssa, kun tuo Malinen puhui tuosta. Se on itse asiassa, Bilderberg-kokous on sellainen, että kun sinne osallistuu ensikertalaiset, niin ne vaatii semmoisen mini-elämänkerran kirjoittamista. Että siellä tehdään niin kuin pelisäännöt selväksi, että jos sä oot EU-vastainen, niin tuolla Bilderbergistä susta tehdään EU-myönteinen. Saat semmoiset lahjukset tavallaan, jos sitoudut siihen Bilderbergin agendaan. Että ne pystyy niitä jäseniä kiristämään just sillä keinoin, että jos ne on liian kriittisiä vaikka EUta kohtaan, niin ne voi jäädyttää kenen tahansa poliittiseen uraan siellä ihan. Niin sen takia yleensä tämä Bilderbergin kerho, niin se muuttaa ihmisen aika olennaisesti. Mutta tosiaan Press for Truthin kanavaa niin kannattaa seurata, että siellä varmaan tulee kakkosvideokin tuosta Bilderbergistä, että kannattaa seurata tilannetta. Mutta tosiaan tämä aamustriimi varmaan on nyt tässä sitten. Ja uusille kanavan katsojille niin voi laittaa tuota painolla ja kanavassa laittaa tilauksen, jos kiinnostaa. Kiitos.